moment, and it like moves the name list down.
Hey, Swkoll, don't forget to switch the scenes.
It's okay. I switched the scene. We're good. We're professionals today.
Nice.
All right, so here we are getting going. We have Shen with Aeon in the top position, and Turin, being a brave man, will play Cybran in the bottom position. This is, I think, the first Cybran I have casted in this tournament so far. Maybe he'll show us
Yeah,
that the Cybran frigates are actually still okay.
according to you, they're not, and according to me, they're not. I mean, they're not. The thing is, they're not bad, but they lost like the reason to pick Siren on maps like this, right? Because Siren Tech to Navy is pretty bad. Uh, it's not great Tech to Navy.
It's
Uh,
not, especially since
and
like of the other navies like UEF have gotten small buffs over time.
I mean, Siren Destroyer's got a small buff. It's got small buffs over time, but not enough to make up a difference. Uh,
They're still
and it's
struggling.
just they are still struggling yet. But yeah, so we'll see what Turn does with Cybran. I mean, the thing is, ACU drops are strong on the map, but Cybran is notoriously not great at ACU drops because their tech to PDs kinda suck and the ACUs have low HP, so it's. And like if you proxy arties, like their arties also kinda suck, so it's all kinda is meh. So that's kinda. Well, it's still possible, but it's just a lot worse than all the factions. Frigates are good, but then again, he's against Aeon, so that is also quite a spicy matchup with current balance.
Extremely spicy. Almost as spicy as walking your ACU after finishing the first PGen.
Um, I don't have Supreme Scoreboard disabled, of course. Big surprise. Yeah, that's a quick walk. Um,
He wants to be like at the right side island super fast with that ACU.
yeah, I mean, I don't particularly dislike it, but I'm not sure what the timings are like compared to how much you delay your transport.
I mean, my sort of problem with it is like it's better to send an NG because the NG is
Yeah,
faster.
that's true. That's what Shen is also doing. He's just sending an engineer to do the exact same thing. So Turin actually made a lab as well for the transport. He made it quite a bit early, funnily enough. But it's very easy if you're trying to like improvise something on the spot. Sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna have a lab with my transport. If you delayed by too much and the lab isn't done when your transport is out, that can happen, and then it's quite painful. But so both players go Inti Scout, or reverse Scout Inti, and then the transport. So they're both going for the relatively safe approach. They both kill each other's scouts because they saw each other and they're both at an Inti out, so it's gonna be very equal, except that Turn, of course, walks his ACU faster. Although Shen also walks his ACU, but just a little bit later. Half behind the engineer.
Yeah, look at that.
So they're also gonna drop the opposite sides, which is it's almost a mirror match at the moment, but in this case it's good for Turn that he walked his issue early, because that's gonna be really helpful to counter this drop. Because you have to keep in mind that, well, I guess Ragnar's on this map are also great. They're actually pretty insane.
Yeah, Wagner's can do a lot.
They're so annoying, and I mean, of course, Blaze spam is also amazing, but it's more visible, let's say.
Yeah, at least you can see the blazes, but you cannot see
At
the
least you can
Wagners.
see them.
Oh, is he gonna drop the lab offensively? I like it.
I mean, I assume he will.
Yeah,
That would make the most sense.
because it's
Um,
not a contested drop, so you don't need it here anymore. You can just bring it over, do a nice drop over here.
did they scout where the others would drop? Because I guess Shen is sort of rushing the factory after making 4 maxes, but Turn hasn't he's also making all the mechs and the hydro first for the factory. So he's going also greed on the drop. Like, I mean, it's gonna work out, but it can be dangerous sometimes. Like if there's all of a sudden if 4 enemy ET show up with a bomber and they snipe the engineers building the factory and then you lose air, then it can become dicey. If your factory dies, then or like doesn't get finished, it's can be pretty bad.
The lab scouts the bomber, or perhaps the bomber scouts the lab.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Shen is not enthused about the fact that there's a lab on his island.
I mean, honestly, scouting the bomber is making the lab pay for itself. That's enough.
Yeah, now the bomber gets killed for free.
I mean, the lab should also actually turn as a scout. He sees the engineer, but the lab will not really like. He will kill this one engineer maybe, but the engineer already built the nexus, so it's kind of no importance.
It will be a nuisance.
It will be a nuisance.
Like maybe if he doesn't.
Oh yeah, actually Shen does a nice hover bomb.
Oh, beautiful. All right, lab scouts 2 bombers. But it doesn't matter too much.
This transfer from turn is very you know, it's maybe a bit too far forwards.
I'm not entirely sure what it's doing, but it's chilling.
So here's the Aurora spam on the right side, as per classic Aeon player versus Cybern.
Yeah, this will be annoying. It's gonna have to get some bombers.
Turn needs to rush at least the second land factory where his SU is in the radar, and then needs to walk his SU to where the Aurora swim is coming from.
I mean, Turin does have some nice forward naval factories on the left side. He's doing a contested drop on the top left island.
True, those are some very forward navy factories, and it's quite risky, I would even say, because it's very common for the SUs to walk in the reclaimed island, so it eventually becomes a top left versus a bottom right split because of how the SUs walk. So, given the fact that he invested his navy factories like this, maybe he's planning to hold on to it for a lot more. Also, he needs to be careful with his air.
Oh no.
That's very dicey. He's losing a lot of its for free. He did spot the bomber, he probably right-clicked it, yeah. But he does have quite a big air loss for now. There's like 4 times as many inties for Shen out of the map.
The problem is he needs to have bombers to deal with this Aurora harassment, which means he needs some air control.
Turn is spamming power while having his air factories bossed, so he is having power issues.
Yeah, he was having some power issues, but now he's getting T2 air.
Yeah, now this Aurora is on his right island, but that should be expected. His SU is actually walking back, which, you know, shouldn't happen. He has 2 land factories. His SU shouldn't be walking back. He should be able to deal with this without his SU. Albeit, yeah, there's only 3 Auroras. Like the first Mantis comes out, already kills 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 land factories here. He's fine.
He's completely fine. So.
I mean, this is actually maybe not even cost-effective harassment. Like, this is a lot of investment in Auroras pretty fast, and it's doing not a lot.
Well, that's how it kind of always goes. The issue is, or what you have to keep in mind, is that he is spending like, what is it, 4 maxes almost on Aurora spam, but he is denying 4 maxes from turn.
Yeah, I suppose that does pay for itself. But now there's frigates here.
Turret around as well. I mean, he didn't quite split them off well enough, because on the right island, those 2 maxes, they probably should have died. He's gonna kill the raider there as well. And it's just meant to be like an attention drain as well, right? So, but I mean, he should stop very soon. It's not gonna be cost efficient for any longer, because frigates are actually out. And
yeah, that's the problem. Like, the Auroras you have built right before the frigates... Actually, he's continuing to build Auroras, even though the frigates are out, which is an interesting move.
There's tech 2 lands from turn on the left side, making the first Wagners. But there's some air, but he does have a static AA to deal with most of it.
He has static AA. I mean, the frigates are coming out. They can defend themselves against T1 bombers.
But yeah. The AA is actually really important. It's actually killing a lot of inties.
Yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty cost effective. Like, he gets the reclaim, he kills all of his air, doesn't need to invest in his own air.
There's one bomber from Shen on the bottom left killing Maxus of turn.
Oh no, this has got 5 kills in a vet. Someone just single NT, please lock onto it.
And on the bottom right side, these Auroras, if they stay in range of the Navy Fact, well, I guess the next frigate is about to be out. So, they can't kill it.
Meanwhile, Shen has a T2 land HQ on the top left island, making blazes.
Yeah, that's a bit of a weird HQ positioning, but sure.
I mean, the blazes will find the Wagners and they will fight it out.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense that he doesn't make it on the right island because he's afraid of losing it. He's just making support factory there. He does need at least one PD though to deal with the ACU.
Yeah, I mean, this right island actually looks a bit vulnerable. Like, just drop these Mantis over there and bring the ACU.
Although Turin never decided to walk his ACU over, funnily enough. And neither did Shen for some reason. They're both just chilling on their islands.
I mean, maybe Turin's concerned about a snipe because he doesn't really have air. Actually, neither of these players really has air. It's pretty up in the air right now.
But Turin is making gunships.
Or maybe Turin is confident in his air positioning.
I mean... No, there are Swifties, but the air from Shen isn't really concentrated. I think it looks very even at the moment, but the longer it goes on, the more it will be in favor of Shen because of the Swifties. It's one of the reasons why Aeon is also so strong here.
Yeah, a few blazes will make it onto the left side island.
Let's see, the first Ragnus will arrive, but he did send none of them to the main base of Shen, which is surprising because you can just go around through the water and you can't really detect them early on.
Yeah, it is a bit of a problem if like they show up in your main base, they start killing your power. Wow, Shen actually built the preemptive T2 PD in his main base. So maybe you actually don't want to go there.
That's nice, I like that. I mean, it's so common for RT drops to happen, and you know, there's Ragnus as well, but it's mostly against RT drops. Even if his opponent is Cybran.
Yeah, I'm a fan of building this defensive T2PD preemptively. It solves so many problems.
So the Ragnars actually target the HQ from Shen. Which is kind of funny. They are gonna be very close to killing it, and there's some backup Ragnars, so I think he should be able to kill it if he... I mean, it's just the cost of 3 Ragnars, it should be. Or maybe 4.
I mean, just wait for the blazes to move out, and then climb out of the water.
Shen is already rebuilding a new HQ next to his SU. I think he should do that. At least he started a new factory. Because, you know, he's kind of important to get the bases. Although, now that the frigate versus frigate fights are, you know, the thing is you need to pay a lot of attention as Turin as well because of the range disadvantage. And this is one of the reasons why maybe you should wait for the next patch to pick Cybran.
I mean, the gunships are going to town on Turin's left island here, but they don't really have air support.
Yeah, they're just gonna stand in blindly. They killed some engineers, but it's...
They wounded some factories. And then called it a day.
The new Wagners are raiding some Maxes, but they're not going for the HQ, which is actually being repaired right now.
I mean, they can turn around and go kill it.
Isn't actually gonna work. Turin needs to be quite careful with air here. Because Shen looks to be wanting an engagement.
Turin does not have good intel over here.
He has that engineer spotting for him.
Oh.
Okay, he does spot it. He needs to turn around right now. No.
Oh, he doesn't want to engage, but there's Swifties.
You can't do this. Once you get caught by Swifties, you have to engage.
He wants to fight over a flak. Alright.
But that was not worth it. He will not have air now for a long time because
He
Swifties
lost.
are also just so good at killing reinforcements because they're faster, so you can't catch up. Like he just lost like at least 10 inches for free. And the thing is, Swifties are more maneuverable, but in a straight up fight they are actually worse than Inties. But they are better because of that maneuverability. But that's why if you get caught by Swifties, you almost always have to fight because it's almost always the best option.
Yeah, I guess Turin thought if he'd fight, he'd lose, so he'd rather lose a few and then hide under the flak. But,
so they're kinda, both of them are kinda ruining each other's islands. Like the top left island for Shen is a mess, but the bottom right island for Turn also looks to be a bit of a mess. Although he does have one Tech 2 max there, which is kept. I'm surprised he didn't get the gun upgrade for his SU to deal with the blazes better, but I hope he at least has E-storage.
he does not.
He does not. That's
It's
really
okay.
bad, actually.
The blazes don't want to engage him because they think he has an energy storage.
Shen also doesn't have an E-storage.
Oh, there's actually a support factory here, and it's building Wagner's. For what that's worth.
Turn goes back after the HQ, this time with like 10 Wagners. But there's a PD, and he just right-clicked the factory. He's just gonna lose a lot of Wagners in the process. This PD already killed 2.
Alright, he loses his HQ versus trouble. Shen doesn't have an energy storage still.
He doesn't, so...
I mean, he could kind of die if he doesn't build one here.
He can, in theory. Wagner DPS is still pretty decent, as you can see. He already took 4k damage.
Alright, he got his energy storage. There we go. He's gonna...
Okay, thank God.
It would have been pretty funny if he just died to Wagner's right here, but thankfully...
If Turn microed these Wagners a bit better, he could have got them down to like 2k HP. Because if he targeted the PD first before the HQ...
Oh, air fight.
And ooh, air fight.
Brutal air fight. Shen just gonna kill everything.
Micro, holy damn.
Alright, Shen gets everything for free.
At least Turn... Yeah, that was fucked. There's no way that should have been that easy for Shen. Turn just let that kinda happen.
Alright, Turn loses
Although
T2 max.
He does have a flak and a Tech 2 support factory there, so he is not in danger of dying to air with his SU. But Turn is not gonna have air for the next 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, he has to wait for T3 air to come online for any chance of getting back into this.
Although these flags are... One of them has already 1k mass killed. It's 1200.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of mass on this island now. Some of it's turns.
At least he gets the mass. I hope he is building some static flags in his main base, because no, I don't see any AA in his main base.
Oh, there's a mobile flak up north.
Okay, that's good. That's a nice Tech 2 support factory as well. It's such a easy to raid location. Finally, I guess he doesn't need TPs against Aeon. Yeah, so now he needs to kind of consolidate on the reclaim, and maybe rush T3 air. I feel like that's the solution, because indie spam is just not gonna do it, I think. Well, maybe it is eventually, because it was an air win, but it wasn't actually that huge of an air win. Like, there's 15 Swifties left, and like 10ish inties. So if turn builds up to like 60 inties, which is not that hard, you can have a decent air fight again.
I mean, the problem is Turn sort of has a lot of investment in anti-air, and he has Cybern frigates, which are still good in that regard. Like, all these gunships are just flying over so much flak, and they might think they're invincible versus flak, but they're not.
Yeah, like, he just lost trees. But the blazes are, and the frigates from Shen will even are trying. Oh, there's Wagner raid on Shen's top left island!
Oh, this is brutal!
No, he has max priority, so the engineers can just build. No? Okay, he went for engineers. The PD finished, but he should be able to kill.
Yeah, he's got no walls. If he just focuses the PD and not the NGs coming out of the factory.
Yeah, classic target priority.
Alright, there we go.
Okay, so the issue from Shen can come back, but only after the Wagner's already done insane damage. It's 5 Wagners, and oh, he's not really focusing something in particular.
Yeah, they're still on NG priority. Alright, he'll lose the factory, he'll lose the radar.
I mean, if the issue OCs, it will kill the reclaim around the Wagners as well. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, sadly he didn't redo the max priority, but it's still decent damage for this few amount of Wagners.
Yeah, this is good damage, and this whole position is a bit... Oh, he's
He's
notching them together!
Now he can OC them in one shot? No? If so, that would have been huge brain.
Just push the units together so they're in AoE range.
Sadly he's not OCing anymore, so he's gonna lose all both.
Oh, he's power stalling at the worst time. He's gonna lose the capped mechs. Oh, now the Wagner is leaving. Oh, alright.
Okay.
Oh, that was not a good plan to power stall. What's he? Oh, he's getting T3 air, but he only has 2 T2 pigeons.
Oh, that's why. That makes sense then. And now he queues up another pigeon, he realized he couldn't afford it. So there's Torps out from turn, and he's actually killing the Aeon Destroyer in mid that Shen made. Actually, he already killed another Aeon Destroyer. That's the second one, and Shen is not responding. He's not. He does have the air to the left, but a lot of it is out of fuel almost. He is making air staging at home, but the Destroyer will die.
Yeah, Destroyer dies. At the cost of what, 3-4 Torp launchers? That's pretty good.
I think, I mean, both of them need to try to get a lot of this reclaim. Like on the left island, there's the HQ actually died from turn, funnily enough, to Blazes, I think. But as a result, there's 5k reclaim there that turn, you know, should get. That's Wagner rate from earlier. There's 4k reclaim where that is as well. Where the air fight was earlier, the reclaim is still there as well. So.
Also, I think Turn could easily fight air and win right now.
Yeah, Turn, you know, he thinks this is 2016 ladder again, where 300 each per player are normal.
I mean, what's concerning me is that Turn is sort of falling behind in the eco game.
It's because Shen rebuilt all his rated maxes and Turn did not. Because there's still enemy units, of course. Like the bottom left island, he misses 3 maxes. The left island, he misses 2, like the small one. The middle left island, he misses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. On the right island with his ACU, he misses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's all in total is like almost 40 mass income of Tech 1 maxes he misses.
And there's also so much reclaim on Turn's islands that he hasn't gotten yet. That he should be able to secure.
Like around his SU and on the left island, that's just so much mass, and like he can even rush like 2 Tech 3 maxes with that reclaim.
He could just, and then he'd be basically on par with Shen once he goes and grabs that.
It is very. Shen made T3 air and then is making gunships from it.
He didn't even build the pigeon. He's just like, yeah, okay, I'm building gunships now.
He built 2 pigeons in order to make the T3 air, but with those T3 2 Tech 2 pigeons, he's now I don't need the T3 air anymore for the T3 pigeon.
He got it for the build power.
Nice, very efficient.
We all just don't understand.
I hope Turn rebuilt his HQ somewhere. I'm not. Yeah, he did. Okay, he built it next to his SU. So he's building Wagners again. I mean, the Wagners have been the main reason of him doing damage this game. Although the longer it goes on, the less efficient it will be, because once Aeon Destroyers start intercepting them, they just get crushed, same as Stormbombers.
Yeah, I feel like the time for Wagners has passed, but we'll see if he can make anything happen with them.
I think the time for Wagners literally never passes on this map, because you can always throughout the entire game, like, send them around the back or something, and I'd click them onto a single island to kill 1 or 2 maxes and just be a major nuisance.
Alright, the Blazes are making landfall over here, but there's a lot of Frigs.
Yeah, this is not gonna work. They're split into army groups, and that will be a big mass donation. And actually, after this, Turn should be able to... I mean, the left fight is slightly less efficient for Turn, but the right fight is very efficient. And his SU is there as well, getting the gun finally, but you will be able to OC.
Yeah, and the units that are making it through are already pretty wounded, and it's not like there isn't a ton of build power on this island already to just respond to all of this.
This is a massive nation. If Turn gets the mass, of course.
Yeah, Turin should be able to secure this easily. I mean, who's going to stop him? It's not Shen.
Well, he himself can stop it like he did earlier with not getting the reclaim.
Alright, Turin just needs to build like 3 T1 land factories for NG reclaim and grab all of this, several thousand mass, and then be the richest man ever. In something other than FAF points.
You know what I'm really surprised about? That neither of them made it a TML like on any of the right or left islands, because this Shen right island is so vulnerable to a TML.
Yeah, I mean, if Turin just builds a TML right now, he could kill all of this, and that would be so painful. Because these are all capped T2 mexes. Well, more or less capped.
Yeah, and of course the Tech2 HQ that was built there after it got killed on the left side. But Turn does at least finally secure the right bottom right for now, and that means he can actually safely take all the mexes without getting raided. So that will actually, like 2 minutes ago, he was like 8 mexes down on that island, and now he can rebuild them, which is again is not irrelevant at all. Especially if you consider the reclaim as well. Now he's pushing with his ACU, although he needs to be a bit careful not to get surrounded by some shift geo blazes, because an ACU push this late on is a lot more dangerous.
Alright.
So he is the air, but there's no AA for Shen, and there's some torp bombers that will just kill all the destroyers again.
Yeah, he went out with 1 cruiser and a dream, and I don't think that's enough.
It's a very big dream. This is the moment when you kind of need hover flag in shields. One of the major strengths of Aeon. Turn is not protecting his torps though. Absolute gameplay. Ken is very happy.
He's like, oh, well, my big naval push to win the game has been foiled by the existence of torp bombers. Yet again.
Like, what he could have done is either gone to the left side to try and kill that...
does Turn die here? No, surely not. He can vet his way out of this.
Okay, he got a vet. I was telling you earlier, like, this might happen.
It's a very silly thing for Turn to be doing. I mean, he's got frigates to help, but he's getting blocked.
And he's also OC. Manually OC that big clump. You cannot die here. That's illegal. OC. You have OC.
No! Oh my god!
Oh my
god. Oh no, not like this.
During that entire fight, Turn manages to shoot 2 OCs.
Oh, he even had like Corsairs nearby to come rescue him. And
oh, you...
Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright. That was a very interesting game for a while.
That's so disappointing. Because it was still actually a pretty even game.
Yeah, like Turn had a lot of stuff going for him.
I mean, Turn was behind for one simple reason, and that's T3 air, and it depends how abusive Shen wanted to be, because I guess Shen is making a 33 max, so Turn was probably more behind than we thought. But if Shen made a single strat bomber and killed 8 maxes with that, with 2 passes, as is customary on this map, would have been a bit brutal.
I mean, if Turn had just coordinated properly and killed off this position without randomly dying himself, and then grabbed all the reclaim and reinvested that into economy,
yeah.
I think they're pretty even.
It wasn't unwinnable at all. Well, but if you make moves like that, then it is.
Yeah, he needed to coordinate his ACU movement better. I feel like that's a theme with Turn.
Minute 25 ACU push with only gun, not even stealth, and he didn't even hug the coast.
I mean, stealth would have saved him. Like, that's enough HP.
And not only that, you know what would have saved him as well? A single OC in that blaze clump earlier. But he didn't OC for like 15 seconds straight because he probably had no E, because somehow like when your first instinct when that happens is to